Here with Anna Beharry. She is the founder of Life Plans and Designs. She has beautiful journals and planners and everything perfect for you, for all of my peeps who love planners. You need to check out Anna's stuff. I will throw it right in the caption. That way you can see it. And if you want to purchase it, she has an amazing accountability challenge that she's going to be starting in 2024, which we'll talk about today. But I am so excited to have you here, Anna. Anna is from Poland, then landed in New York City, and then now calls Atlanta her home. So for
Yes,
anyone in that area that's a business owner or doing events, hit up Anna. She'd probably definitely love to go and network and meet with you. But
definitely.
Anna, tell us a little bit into your journey of starting Life Plans and Designs and what it feels like to be able to purchase your own product on Amazon or have it in your hands, which you have it in your hands. So if you could show us, and then we'll also like show everyone else some of what this looks like throughout our live too. Go ahead. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
thank you. So at the age of 17, I left my home and moved in with my best friend. So that kind of spiraled, well, encouraged me to plan, create financial goals, and especially with volunteering, doing high school classes, and then eventually going into college. I had to maintain not only finances, but also budgeting, tuition, as you can imagine, and also class schedules, volunteering schedules, and basically keep myself planned and organized. And as eventually I became a mom, I had to do the same. The kids having different activities out of school with soccer, volleyball, things of that nature, I had to continuously keep myself organized. As you can imagine, doctor's appointments and things in that nature. I also pursued my bachelor's and MBA while being a young mom. So I also had to keep myself accountable with working full time, going to school full time, and also, fulfilling my mom and wifely duties. So eventually, especially during COVID, I would meet a lot of people in Hobby Lobby, Michael's aisles, where we would all be looking for the same thing, planners and journals. And eventually, after shopping for so many, the trial and error, ordering them on Amazon and through different vendors, I realized that they're just not really meeting my needs. And that's where I started kind of struggling between planning, not planning. I would create my own templates, print them out, PDF them, share them with coworkers, with friends. And it was just like a continuous journey. And then eventually one day I just had an idea that I'm just, whatever it takes, I'm just going to create my own planner. So that way it has all the things that I need in there. And what I would do is I would sit with coworkers and ask them, like, what do you like about your planner? And especially all the other individuals who like their to-do lists and would order planners for work. I'm like, what do you like about this one? What do you like about that one? And eventually I just kind of, it was fortified, created it with, errors and trials and tribulations. And then I came up with this specific planner. I changed the cover on it. So on Amazon, you may see like a nice, cleaner version, which I truly, truly love. I want to share with you the breakdown of the monthly and also the weekly. So this is the weekly spread. As you can see,
Ooh.
this is the horizontal, but this is what I love about it is the different boxes that you have for your weekly focus, your to-do list, things that you will do to make things great, which is your self-care, and it has an area for personal development, a box for affirmations, appointments, events, things that worked, things that didn't, and basically your reflection. I know with a lot of things that we have going on, especially with the holidays, reflection is really, really important. And that's why I wanted to make sure I included in this planner as well. And the layout for the month is a little bit, I don't want to say basic, but it's very elegant and it's very clean. Um, with this planner in mind, one of the things I wanted to do is just make sure that it doesn't only fit in needs of colors, themes, but it is something that you can make uniquely you, which means you can use markers, pens, stickers, different things that you can add into your planner, whatever it is that you so desire, or you can leave it plain because it's just so elegant where you can use it every day. So there's no requirement of you to buying additional things and additional supplies. It is the way that it is, and it's just I feel like it's clean and simple. Um, in addition to this one, I'm also in the middle of creating a different layout because I know some people like the horizontal and some people like the vertical. So the vertical is en route. Um, One of the things I do love about this planner specifically is um, the area to do vision planning. And this is what my vision board looks like. It's a little bit specific, but this is what it can look like if that's something that that you truly want to do. I also have an area for like action steps. And basically this is not just like a planner, but it really is also like a workbook because you can track your habits and things that you're, working on towards each and every day. Or because it's undated, you can always put it to the side, and depending on where your life is, you can always just leave it for a few months, and then when you're ready to pick up back on planning, you can pick it up and just, be wherever you left off.
Which is beautiful. I often find myself in Target, various
Hmm.
places when it comes time for the new year, and I'm so happy that we met because my planner, I'm on the last month here of my planner, and those are my favorite things to have in
Yes.
planners is to have that area where you can put your to-do list, where you can put that
Hmm.
self-care, where that whole other side that you are mentioning, I think is perfect for anyone, but also especially perfect for moms,
Hmm.
for I don't always love using the word busy, but at
Yeah.
the end of the day, moms that have a lot going on, like you are juggling a lot, and
Hmm.
sometimes you can juggle so much. And so many people have asked me, what is your secret, Gabby? How do you do it all? And I'm like, hey, I don't really know what you're talking about. I don't think I do that much.
Right.
This is super tangible. And they're like, no, 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 like you have two kids and you do this and you do that. And like, how do you bake? And how do you, and I'm like, well, first of all, this, like my
Yeah.
holy grail is my planner
Yes.
and my Google. I love a Google Calendar. Those two together, I feel like us both together, we can take on the world. We have everything written
Definitely.
down. We know what's going on. And I love how you mentioned like, hey, I left home at 17. I had to take on duties that your
Yes.
average teenager, your average 20-year-old wouldn't have had to take on. I
Hmm.
left my parents' house at 21. And so it's that 4-year age gap is
Yeah.
big, it's big, but I know exactly what you mean. I left very quickly. I, luckily enough, was able to move into an apartment that was in my grandma's basement. So I was not too far from home. It was maybe 20 minutes away, but I needed that freedom. I needed to be able to grow
Hmm.
in my own environment, but also what helped me was the habits that I already
Yes.
had. But the same thing, paying for my college tuition. Thank God that
Hmm.
I had a big scholarship so that I didn't have to pay much, but I still had to pay thousands of
Yeah,
dollars a year that I was
exactly.
not used to paying for my own car, my insurance, and all these things have become so overwhelming if you don't write it out. They can
Hmm.
accumulate and they can feel like they're like on top of you. And for someone who, okay, Anna, it's November 28th, 2023. Some people like just need to stop and say the date every once in a while because it's like,
Yes, we
okay, November
do.
28th, 2023. My planner's lost, like it's gathering dust, or I know all these huge changes that I wanted to make in the beginning of the year. None of them have been made, or none of them have been
Right.
constant. What would be your message to that woman that's like, what do I even do? Like, how do I even start? It's going to be a new year and I'm just going to get wrapped up again. Like, how can I fix this?
Yeah. So the suggestion I would have is focusing on what I call the five pillars of success. And that includes movement, self-care, development, gratitude, and habits. So even scheduling 10 minutes of those five things a day, 50 minutes a day, you can use to just create something. And basically, I don't want to say fast track to success, but that's what it really is. If you struggle the whole year and now you need to catch up on your goals, this would be the way to achieve it. And especially with movement, you don't have to do an hour and commit 2 hours. I know we touched on watching those videos about get up and get off your bed and you need to do this. It's not that serious, but it is a little serious. Just 10 minutes a day of either walking or doing like a fast paced cardio or even finding like a dance video that you love to do and get your kids in on it. So do the movement and then also self care. It could be taking a nap, especially with being moms. You know how hard it is throughout the day. Take 10,
Like a
10-minute
nap
naps.
is self-care.
Yes, it
Like,
is, especially before the kids come home off the bus.
yes.
Or even if you can just like sit by yourself, for a few minutes. Self-care is just that reading a couple pages of your favorite book or listening to an audiobook. That's still self-care. It doesn't have to be defined by lighting candles and getting your nails done. It can also be, just sitting in the darkness or in the pantry with, a couple M&Ms and just
Sitting in the
exhaling.
pantry.
It's it's
Yes.
okay. We've all
Yes.
been there.
Yes.
And
Well, I
then
think you can see these videos on TikTok where
mhm,
you see this woman get her entire bath ready. She puts this entire bath thing out. She puts her book out.
yes,
She puts her kid out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what? And I think sometimes we can judge ourselves based on that. But
yes, we
no, no, no,
do.
no. You do what's best for you. Like you're saying, that
Yes.
10-minute workout, whether it's in the gym, in the car, or at
Hmm.
home, or
Yeah.
wherever that's taking place, do it based on what works
Yes.
best for you. But continue. What are the other pillars? I know that you mentioned all of them, but
Hmm.
you're talking,
Development
yes.
is next. Yeah.
Okay.
So development is focusing on your business goals or personal resolutions. Not everybody owns a business. Not everybody is in a career. Sometimes you are where you are in your life, and that's okay. So just focus on development. If you want to learn about something, you see things on TikTok and you're like, okay, I'm very curious about that. On one of the things on my to-do list that I do is when I see things that just spark my curiosity, I write them down. So when I'm doing absolutely nothing but just doom scrolling
Yeah.
on the phone, I have a to-do list or like a list of things I want to learn about. It could be a new recipe. It could be just about how to post better. It could be how to take better pictures of your children. It could be how to organize your week or fold certain clothes. Like it could be anything. Development is such a wide variety of areas of opportunity for growth that you could just make it any way that you want to. Um, Especially like when we touch on self-care and we're touching on development, you don't have to tell people that you're doing this. Really, just write it down and just keep it to yourself, especially if you're embarrassed about, certain things about self-care or, whatever it is that you do. It is yours. Really, you don't have to blast it to the public, but just have a curious mindset and also a mindset of caring about yourself. And then gratitude, that's the next pillar, which talks about cultivating an attitude of gratitude and reflection. Write down something that you're thankful for, or even reflect as you're driving in your car. Think about something that happened to you within the last 24 hours that you're thankful for. It could be something simple, or if you're really struggling, you're going through something very hard in your life, at least focus on the most positive moment, something that really was positive for you within the last 24 hours, and just reflect on that. And that will really set the stage for the day that you're going to have. And just do this every day. And then also habits. We always talk about habits. Creating positive habits will support your long term goal. So if there's something that you wanted to learn and that you really didn't get to, habits will take you there. And starting, I know people always talk about drinking all your water and getting your steps in. It could be that, but it also could be something as important as some people, it's just maintaining an appearance. Some people are like, I want to look good this week. So for the week, focus on looking good each and every day and what that looks like to you. It doesn't have to be getting really dolled up, but could it be something like putting on a nice outfit? And just focus on that each and every day, each and every week. In the morning, get up and just think of top three things that you want to do, and then focus on those three habits. And just try not to break those promises to yourself because those promises are very, very important. And we always talk about like relationships that we have with our families, our friends. Just know that the relationship that you have with yourself is going to set the foundation of every relationship that you have. So don't break promises to yourself. And, at the end of the day, just to summarize, it's 5 pillars of success. Those are the things that are going to get you fast track to success for 2024. And again, those include movement, self care, development, gratitude, and habits. So just focus on those, and I can guarantee you're going to feel so great on January 1st that you already had a leg up and you know exactly where you're heading for the next year.
And I love that we mentioned five,
Mm-hmm.
five, five areas, because I think
Yeah.
oftentimes what can happen is we can spend all of our time focusing on one,
Mm-hmm.
focusing on just development, right? And I hear this common too. I hear women letting me know, oh my God, Gab, I was up till 3 a.m. fixing my
Mm-hmm.
CRM or fixing my website. And okay, whoa, 3 p.m. to 3 a.m., 12-hour block. You
Yeah.
spend a lot of time doing that. So how are you pouring into yourself? Oh no, no, it's not done yet. I'm not, now I gotta go run the kids to school. And
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
and I've heard recently that a new word that people are using in lieu of balance is harmony. Finding the
Yes.
harmony that works amongst things. And I think the most important thing for us as women to understand is that it takes more than one. Don't just focus
Hmm.
all your time building one area of yourself.
Right.
Like diversify it a little bit. Like spend a little time
Hmm.
doing some other things that maybe you wouldn't have traditionally done and push yourself into those areas of vulnerability where you're like, "Oh my gosh, that's not me. You don't get it. I would
Hmm.
never spend 10 minutes a day on gratitude."
Yeah.
Maybe it's time for you to start rethinking of who you view yourself as. And like maybe
Yeah.
it's time to say, maybe that's who I used to be, but that's not who I want to continue being. And I want to focus on some self-care. I want to move my body for at least 10 minutes a day. And are there
Yeah.
any things on your journey, excuse me, of growth that were there any areas for you that were a little stickier than others?
I would say the procrastination part. One of the things I realized is by reading books like Atomic Habits and several others, I'm such an avid reader. I think last year I did like 52 books in a year, which was crazy. And I love self-help books. But, I always have like one or two sentences takeaways from each and every book and things that really change the way I do things. But talking with different people, I realized that we all try to be things that we're really truly not. And this comes down to being your core individual, who you are, your character, the things that you can't change, such as being a morning person or being an evening person. I know we all know, or if you don't know, then just start monitoring yourself. Figure out, when do you have the most energy? Some people do it at 9, some people realize they have energy at 10, some people check in at 3:30 p.m., such as myself. And I used to try to do it at 4:30 a.m. wake up thing and 5 a.m. wake up thing, and I would be so groggy for the rest of the day. It was just unbelievable. I would schedule morning meetings, show up just like halfway alive, and just feel like I am not, even though I would prepare the night before, I felt like I got it. I just felt like I wasn't showing up as my authentic self. And so one thing I started doing is just realizing, like, okay, if I have the most energy around 3 o'clock, maybe I should schedule the meetings around that time. And this is why we're meeting today at 4 o'clock, and change is just because of that energy level. So just honor your natural circadian rhythm and then just schedule tasks around that time as you're able. So if you feel like you have more energy in the morning when you wake up and work out, then do that. If you feel like evening workouts are more your thing, then do that. If you feel like you like dancing, that's what you enjoy, then schedule those type of workouts. If you feel like you want to pump iron, then figure out a way of doing that. But at the end of the day, just understand that you only have 100 percent, aka 24 hours in a day, but you really have like maybe 10 or 12 to crunch everything in. So be realistic for yourself with yourself. Aim at 80% of your tasks. 20% just leave a little bit of fluff, and I would call that white space in your day. So have time where you can actually do some things that you want to work on throughout the day, at least 20% of your time, maybe half an hour, maybe an hour. Schedule that for yourself where you can do the things that you want to do, and then just focus on the 5 pillars. And of course, start small. Don't start changing your whole life around. Um, I would say if you're starting this week and you just want to change your life, just sit down and write down things that you wish that your life would look like, your morning routine, your evening routine, things that you want to do more of, things that you want to do less of, things where you want to improve, just so that way you really get to know yourself and who you are. And so those areas will open up opportunity. And based on those things that you feel like you're missing, this is how you learn to tap into designing your life. Is you're going to then focus on adding those things into your week, as they come, and then fit them into the 5 pillars of success, and 10 minutes a day, per each one. So 15 minutes a day, you can just knock out things as they come. And even if you don't have the 10 minutes to work out, but you have a very long commute, put on some music and just jam to
Jam it out.
something, or jam it out with your
Exactly.
kids. Like, um, just do something, pace around work, or find ways to get creative with yourself, and set up little challenges for yourself if you're able to do that. But just don't beat yourself up, because even if out of the 5 things you do one thing a day, That's still a win, more than you did yesterday. And then always say that, the 1% is just the one more thing that you did better today than you did yesterday, and then just clap for yourself. Don't put yourself down, because don't aim for perfection, because when you do, then you start to procrastinate and avoid things. You don't want to do that. Just be like, okay, if I can do this one thing today, then that's what it is. And just focus on that, and then give yourself kudos. And then, the next morning when you wake up, think of different things that you can do to improve your life.
And I love even the name life plans and designs
Mm-hmm.
because this is your life. And something that we
Yes.
mentioned yesterday and we're talking about was victim mindset.
Oh,
And
yeah.
having this victim mentality of everything happens to me,
Mm-hmm.
oh my gosh, they did me wrong. Look at all the
Yes.
things that are happening to me. And that can very much, I think nowadays I surround myself with so many people that have such a mindset of growth and of
Mm-hmm.
positivity and of radical responsibility that I often don't hear those people anymore. But
Yeah.
boy, when I'm around them, I'm like, whoa.
It's
I sometimes
heavy.
you can forget that there are people out there who literally think they the like they're just a magnet for the
Yep.
worst things in life to happen to them and
Right.
all these things, and it's like,
Yeah.
first of all, I love and have so much appreciation because I know there were definitely places in my life where I used
Mm-hmm.
to think that way too, situations that I was stuck in and was
Yeah.
keeping myself stuck in. And I have to have so much love for who I was and for the way that I was doing the best that I could with what I
Yep.
had. But if you're someone who's sitting here and you're like, okay, I'm starting to get on this journey of planning and designing the life that I want. All right, I'm going to get the planner. While we wrap up, could you tell them about your upcoming challenge that you're going to have in January of 2024 and how this might be like the perfect component to the accountability that they might need to hear themselves, to see
Mm-hmm.
themselves, to get the support that they need? Because we all
Yes.
have that negative self talk, we all have those voices in our head. But the difference is how open we are and how willing we are to share the deepest parts of ourselves with others. That's when real change gets to happen. So
Mm-hmm.
tell us more about that challenge.
Yeah, definitely. So for next year, every year I do a word of the year. I think this year was transformation and creativity. So I wanted to create my life, right? And I wanted to transform myself. But next year, what I'm aiming for life plans and designs is be radical. So we're going to be taking radical self-responsibility, and that's what we're going to be in 2024. When you join this challenge, you will be radical. And basically, you're going to take responsibility for your life. You're going to identify the areas where you need to make changes, and then you're going to take actions to create the outcomes that you desire. And the challenge is going to be 90 days. It's going to start around January 8th and it's going to end around April 9th. We're going to do onboarding. We're going to talk about um, success, and it's going to be the 5 pillars. Um, the cost is going to be $24.24 for 2024 to join. And that's going to be coaching. And it's going to be every 10 days, we're going to do an accountability check in to see how people are doing. But every day on our team, we're going to have on our Microsoft Teams, we're going to talk about things that are going well, things that are not going well. And we're going to have a support group. So everyone who's going to be participating in this challenge will be supporting each other and rooting for everyone. We are going to be radical, which means we're only going to be focusing on things that we are improving. We're not going to, we're going to, sometimes when things don't go our way, we may take, okay, this didn't go so well. Okay, now we're going to, take that moment to, regress and then just move forward. We're just going to keep pushing forward. There's 2 ways that you can join. The first way is going to be picking up a journal, 90-day journal on Amazon. And the reason why you want this journal, it's not just a planner, it's not just a journal, it is a workbook. You're going to create your vision for what you see your life for the next 90 days and how you're going to change. You're going to create that with words, action words, and then you're also going to create visual numbers. So if there's something that you're working with specifically, you're going to include that on your vision board. Then you're going to talk about you're going to create your 5 dreams. So you're going to focus on the dreams and the things that you want to do. We're going to do like a visual mindset where there's no limitations. It's just what you want to do. And then you're going to break those down into steps and into a sentence that you're going to be basically repeating every single day. This is who you are, because now you are shifting into your new identity. Not only that, every day you're going to be talking about 5 pillars, things that you're working on, and you're going to write them down. And the reason why there's so many studies about the mind pen connection. And, you can watch videos of scientists actually showing people when they're writing things down, the neurons it creates in your brains and new pathways and new files. And you're going to repeat this every day for 90 days, and you're going to become a whole brand new person. So, like I said, the 2 ways to join is buying a planner and then following our challenge, and that's going to be basically free. I'm going to be posting those on our Instagram page as well as Facebook and as well as LinkedIn. But if you want to in on the coaching, which we basically check in with you every day, and every 10 days we do like a virtual call, that's going to be additional $24.24. So basically, you're paying $48.48 with the planner and with the accountability. Um, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is being surrounded with like-minded people, which means everyone is on a journey. Everyone is going through something, and everyone is also changing their lives for the better. And this is why you want to be around people who are building goals, because it's going to be a group of people who basically understand that this is confident. There's not going to be recording, there's not going to be sharing. Everyone is just going to be sharing the things that they're working on. And then when you leave that group at the end of the day, that is it. There's no mention. I really love confidentiality, and I respect everyone's privacy and the fact that we're all working on goals. So we're just here at the end of the day to help you achieve them and support you in any way that we can.
Beautiful. I am so excited for the challenge because it is so needed. I'm also so excited to see everything progress, all of your business progress. I know you're talking about a lot of the things that you're going to be doing in the new year, which is, of course, a
Yes.
lot of amazing events and collaborations. If you're open to events, collaborations, you're out of Atlanta, any of those areas, please contact Anna. And where can they find you, excuse me, on socials to be able to follow up with you more?
So it's life plans and designs, one word, lowercase, and it's the same social name on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and Instagram. And it's easy, life plans and designs. And so the name of the company stands for life is currently where you are. Plans is basically what you're planning to do, and designs is you designing and working your life. So this is why the company is just not focusing on one area of improvement. It's just really focusing on you designing your life and living the best life that you possibly can.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Anna, for joining me. I hope everyone follows Anna, add her on LinkedIn, follow her Facebook business profile, and purchase her planner for the new year and get in on this accountability challenge.